Hello, welcome to part 2 of my Netflix movie roundup series of reviews. Now I'm going to talk about The Social Dilemma. This is a documentary that hit Netflix recently. There's been a lot of buzz around it, at least online from what I've seen, and some people in my personal life who've recommended it. This was a very interesting documentary. I think this is the first documentary I've reviewed on my channel. How exciting. But it's different than other documentaries about social media because it doesn't feel like some fear-mongering thing about, like, it doesn't come off as social media is new and bad and it's ruining, kids' minds. It doesn't come off like that. It doesn't come off as out of touch like some of the, like, Screenagers, the documentary they showed us in high school. This documentary follows the people who created these social media platforms, people involved behind the scenes of these platforms, talking about why we should be concerned and why we should want change and why we should be more weary of what pops up on our screen. It's very interesting, and there's a lot I didn't know about, and I'm like, yeah, I guess they're tracking what I'm doing, but they're tracking more about what we do than I thought they were. And hearing it straight from the people who programmed these systems makes it more real and more scary. There are aspects that are very current. I think they probably had to go back and add some stuff about coronavirus later. But they tie that in and also, what I found interesting, sort of the polarization of us as a country, because, like, one of the examples they give is if you type climate change is into Google, you're going to get different results pop up depending on where you live and who you are. And so they talk about sort of how these systems give people separate sets of facts, and that's why it feels like, we're living in two separate realities as Americans. And sort of talking about how these platforms aren't a tool or a product, but we're the product for them to sell ads, and how these AI systems are manipulating our minds. So that's sort of some of what this documentary touches on. But aside from that, let's talk about the film itself. I loved hearing from all of these people who were directly involved in creating these apps. It was super interesting. They also have some scripted acted segments that worked, but I think could have worked better if they were better executed. It's funny in this thing that feels very real. You have these sort of scripted sections to sort of illustrate the point of what the experts are saying, but it feels a little disconnected because in these little side skit things that are, sort of playing out the things that the people are talking about with these teenagers. And it has the girl from Moonrise Kingdom. And I was like, who's that girl? Oh, it's the girl from Moonrise Kingdom. Because she grew up, obviously. But they use fake social media apps and some fake political extremist group called Extreme Center, because I guess they didn't want to do extreme right or extreme left or whatever. That makes it feel a little bit like, okay, you're using a fake social media app to show us, but I got what they were going for, and it didn't bug me. I just found what came straight from the experts' mouths to be more interesting. But overall, this is totally worth a watch. It's totally worth knowing what is being tracked that you don't know about. Like, if you're someone who uses social media like I am, and like almost all of us are if you're watching this video, it's worth knowing what's going on behind the scenes, even if you don't want to delete your apps. I'm not going to delete them. I'm probably going to cut back because I hate the idea of being, like, manipulated and addicted to them. But it's good stuff to know if you're someone who uses these apps. So it's a recommendation from me. It's interesting and it's entertaining. So check it out. Stay tuned. One more video coming tonight. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.